So meet your host. My name is Oluwakemi Oyewole. I'm fondly and popularly called Big Kemi. I'm a disciple of Christ, passionately raising men for kingdom leadership and societal significance. I'm the founder of Money Masters with Big Kemi, and this is an online literacy platform with a vision to bridge the financial literacy gap in society. You're going to agree with me that not everybody knows what to do with their money. People are just like, this money thing, I don't even understand this. You talk to people and say that it's not for me. It's becoming for people like you, it's not for me. And, we just want to bridge that gap with simplified financial education. What we are going to say is what anybody can relate to. It's going to be very, very, very simple. I'm also the co-founder of Smash Goals Club, and that's an accountability community where members are taught the power of goal setting and helped with the execution of said goals. I'm a graduate of the prestigious University of Ilorin, and I bagged my first degree in finance. I'm an investment banker by profession and a finance coach by passion. I'm particularly interested in young people developing the right mindset towards world creation, because I've come to realize that when we are talking about world creation, it's actually a journey and it's not a destination. It's a journey. It's the principles that you imbibe in the way. Those are the things that matter. Please, can we go to the next slide? And so many things. I'm a humanitarian and I volunteered in different kind of NGO. So let's get started. Mistakes are inevitable. I'm very sure that there is nobody living that would say that, oh, I've never made mistake or something like that. I'm 100% perfect. Nobody's perfect. Mistakes are inevitable. We are going to definitely make mistakes. But what is wrong is when you keep making the same mistake over and over again. You're going to make mistake in life. You're going to make mistake even when it comes to your finances. Nobody's above making a mistake. But it becomes a challenge when you make the same mistake over and over and over again. Imagine you have a son or you have a daughter or your niece or your nephew, and they keep doing the same thing over and over again. You've corrected them. The first time, yes, the mistake. But that very same thing that I asked the child not to do, person is doing it again, over and over and over again, then it becomes a challenge. And when it comes to your finances, when it comes to making money, if you keep making the same mistake over and over, it's going to cost you a lot. It's going to cost you your financial freedom. Please, next slide. So these mistakes have been broken down into 3 categories. We have 21 of them, and we broke them down into 3 categories. So the first one are mistakes that are stopping you from getting in the financial game and taking charge of your life. I don't know if you are here with me. I believe that you are here with me today because you actually want to take charge of your life, because you want to take charge of your financial life. This is the start of a new year, and by the end of 2023, you're like, yes, these are the goals that I set for myself, and to the glory of God, I'm able to achieve it. So we have module 1, which is getting in the financial game and taking charge of your life. And we have other modules, so you're going to find out as we continue. So the very first mistake that we have here is striving for survival and not wealth. I just want to survive. I just want to eat. I just want to go to school. I just want to be okay. That is not bad in itself, actually. It's not bad, but you're not harnessing your full potential. Just surviving, just existing. That is not what God wants for you, actually. So we are just there, the very first mistake. And this is the first mistake because if you do not get this right, every other thing, like you won't even have the motivation to do other things because you're just like, oh, I just want to, I'm okay the way I am. And truly, nobody's actually okay the way they are. But just because you don't want to put in the work, like, I'm just okay the way I am. I'm not hungry. Well, I'm not satisfied, but I'm not hungry either. I can pay my rent. I don't have any debts. I can send my children. If they can't go to a private school, they'll go to a government-owned school. We are okay. And that is the first mistake you're making. That is the first mistake you're making. You should live to the fullness of your potential. My mentor will always say that in life, you came with something. Like there is something God has deposited in you. I don't know the religion of the people that are here, but there is something that God has deposited in everybody. And you have to live to the fullness. You have to fully harness your potential. So the first mistake that we identify is striving for survival and not wealth. And how do you avoid it? Number 1, I'm going to say that draw a picture of what you like to be by the end of the year. Cut a vision without limitation. Just say, okay, by the end of 2023, this is what, like, just imagine that I have all that I need. I'm not limited. I live in an abundant universe. Nothing is scarce. Everything that I need is all around me. So where would you like to be? I would like to hear from us in the chat section. Just tell me, what would you like to be? Where would you like to be? What would you like to be by the end of the year? Catch a vision. That's the first thing that you have to do. Envision your life as you want it to be, not as it is. Don't look at your life. Don't look at where you are right now. Don't feel like, okay, look at where you want to be. And I'm giving you like a 12-month gap that, okay, by December 31st, 2023, this is where I want to be. Another thing, after, please, this is an activity and I really want us to participate. So I would like to hear from us in the chat section. So tell me, you want to be financially independent. That's actually very big, and we are going to get there. When you say you want to be financially independent, what do you mean? What do you mean? That is not a very smart financial goal. We are going to get there because financial independence is vague. In what sense? Talk to people about your dream. Talk to people. Keep your eye on the finish line. Post your goals where you are going to see it every day. Every day. Please, let's move on to the next slide. So the second mistake, to own a business that gives me, I'm reading somebody's chat right now. Vincent said by the end of the year, he wants to own a business that gives him an extra income. When you say extra income, it's still very vague. You're supposed to put a figure to it. So your financial goal, I think that's mistake number 3. I'm going to really talk about that. You have to make smart goals. When you say you want to own a business, I'll give you an extra income. Why not put an amount to it? I want to, by the end of the year, I want to own a business that is giving me 500,000 annually or monthly or weekly, however the case may be. So moving on to mistake 2. Mistake 2 is not knowing your net worth, not knowing where you are right now. You can't plan for tomorrow if you don't know where you stand today. You can't really plan. You have to know where you are. You can't adequately prepare for where you are going if you don't know where you are. So knowing your net worth will help you to live your life as richly as possible. And how do you calculate your net worth? Your net worth is all that you own, less what you owe. It's as simple as that. Everything that you own, less everything that you owe. That is your net worth. Your phone, your laptop, your car, your properties, those are your assets. In simple terms, your net worth is your asset less your liability. And you can calculate your net worth, like just go to any browser, your Chrome, Mozilla, any browser that you're using, and search for net worth calculator. And just put in everything there, your assets less your liabilities. You're going to know what you watch right now. Like, okay, and that will also give you a plan that, okay, by the end of the year, right now, I'm worth less than $1,000. By the end of the year, I want to be worth $2,000. I want to be worth $20,000. If you want your net worth to be in pounds, you want it to be in naira, so say, okay, right now I'm worth less than $1 million. By the end of the year, I want to be worth 5 million. I want to be worth 10 million. I want to be like this. So that will give you like a clear guide, a path as to where you are going and how to get there. Next. Sorry, please, next slide. So this is a pictorial picture of what your net worth is. Like I said, it is what you have, your properties, it could be art collections, your store, insurance policy, your retirement plan, minus everything that you owe. You're going to get your net worth. So mistake number 3 is not creating a financial goal. And I want to tell us a story. This is a story I read. I don't know. Have you read? How many people here have read Alice in Wonderland? If you have, you can put it on the chat or you can just signify by raising your hand. Alice in Wonderland. So this particular conversation is between Alice and the cat. So Alice was going somewhere. Okay, thank you, Blessing. Blessing said she asked. So you probably remember this particular scene. Alice was going and she asked the cat, she was like, hey cat, please tell me the way. I'm going to be paraphrasing now because I'm not reading the book. It's like, just tell me the way. And the cat was like, where are you going? She said, I don't know, anywhere. Just give me direction. And the cat was like, if you don't know where you're going, just keep walking. Then she was like, maybe you do not get what I'm saying. I mean, I just want to get somewhere. And then it was like, okay, just keep working. If you work long enough, you're going to get somewhere. And that is the exact story of everybody. Sometimes we are just there, we are just going. We don't have a plan, we don't have a goal. Like I said, I think somebody said by the end of the year, I want to be financially independent. That's so big. That's so big. That's not a clear-cut plan. At the end of the year, at the end of 2022, you want to be financially independent. By how much? By what percent? So your financial goal should be smart. It should be measurable. It should be achievable. Just like it should have all the features of a smart goal. Let's say at the end of the year, I want to be 500,000 richer. At the end of the year, I want to be 1 million richer. Now that is measurable. Now that you can actually break that down into, okay, if I want to be 500,000 richer by the end of the year, if I want to be 2 million richer by the end of the year, this is how much I have to make every month. This is how much I have to make every week. Okay, my current income cannot give me that. Then I have to look for other sorts of income. So if my other source of income, this is how much should come in from stream 1. This is how much should come in from stream 2. That is giving you like a guide to measure and actually work towards the plan. So let's go to the next slide. I said, just like Alice, if you don't have a financial goal, you'll be working for a very long time. You'll just be working. And by working, I don't even mean working. You'll be working like W-O-R-K. You'll be working for a very long time. How many of you have seen, I don't know, do you run or do you have any athlete as a friend or do you know any athletes? Would you see any athlete that would just stand up in the front and be like, I want to run with no destination in mind? Like, I just want to run. I want to run until I drop dead. Nobody does that. So that's exact. So you should not have a goal that has no destination. You should not have a goal that is just broad. Your goal should be streamlined. It should be achievable. It should be something that you can measure. So I have an activity for us here. I said, calculate your financial goal for the year. So this is not a number you pull out of thin air. It's the total of your current saving plus the amount you need to achieve your vision. We talked about vision as the very first mistake. So what is that? What's the amount that you need to achieve the vision that you have for yourself by this year? So calculate what you have currently, then add it to that, and that will be your financial goal. So the second thing is make research. If by the end of the year, your goal is to buy a car or own a land, find out how much it's going to cost, write it down, and start working with it with that end in mind. Like I said, break it down into monthly goals, break it down. It could be quarterly goals, it could be it could be quarterly goals, it could be monthly goals, it could be weekly goals. Break it down and start running with that end in mind. Next slide. So the very first mistake that I have here is not seeking financial advice. People don't seek financial advice. I think they think it's very costly. It's expensive. I don't have money. You're asking me to pay money to. Do you get it? I posted this thing on Facebook. I'll tell you guys the story. And somebody was just like, he was just accused me like, hey, you want to bill me to tell me? It just sent a very long epistle to me that I want to bill me because I want to teach. I was like, it's even free. Like, just register. I'm not billing you. But that's actually the mentality of a lot of people. Ignorance is expensive. Ignorance is, as they say, like if you think education is free, try ignorance. Ignorance is actually really expensive than education. But you find people that they don't want to seek financial advice. They think it's too costly. But the cost of making bad financial decisions are more. The cost you're going to be incurring on yourself for making a bad financial decision is more than what you're actually paying to seek financial advice. So success is not a solitary journey. You can't do it on your own. Get advice. Seek financial advice. I wrote it here that join the finance community. You can join the Money Matters tribe and get access to free financial education. Just before you make any important money decision, especially when it comes to investment, please and please consult a finance coach. Consult a finance coach. Don't just make any decision because your friend said, my friend has done it, my friend has this, and at the end of the day, you're going to get your finger burned. Another thing that I say that I put here is that feed your finance brain by reading. Please ensure that you read. You ensure that you read. Like nobody, like people will say, nobody actually brought this knowledge from everyone. We learned it here on earth. So if I know these things, you can also know it. So feed your finance brain by reading. And I have one activity for us here. I said read at least one personal finance book by monthly. And I'm putting by monthly because I know that people are busy, you know, you have work, you probably belong to other book clubs and all of these things. So at least one book in 2 months. By the end of the year, that's going to be a total of 6 books, and not just any kind of books, 6 personal finance books. Trust me, by the end of the year, if you do this, you are not going to be where you are right now. You are going to be like, that's like 6 authors, like their experiences, their lifestyle accumulated in one book, and you are able to consume 6 of such books. Definitely you're going to know. Or you can join the Money Matters Readers to Winners book club. So we have a book club. If you're interested, you can signify at the end of the webinar. Mistake 5 is choosing to remain financially literate. This is piggybacking on what I said in mistake 4. You know, being financially literate is a choice, just as the decision to get rich is a choice. If you choose to be financially, it's your choice. You chose it, like nobody's, you choose it, like it's your decision. Even the fact that you are not doing anything is also a choice. So why do people remain financially illiterate? I said it before that, you know, they believe the fallacy that understanding finance is not for everybody. They're like, this money thing, I just cannot understand it. Everybody and anybody can understand finance. It's very, very simple, but it actually requires discipline. It requires discipline. You may not do it because you want to. Trust me, there are a lot of things that you can be doing than reading, than making research, than, you know, feeding your finance brain and all of that. But you do it because it's going to help you to achieve your personal finance goals. You do it because of the thought of being financially independent. And I have some tips for us here to help us. I said, spend some minutes or hours every day reading something about money for a period of 3, 6, or 12 months. Like I said, if it's just one book, get one book and try to finish it in 2 months. If you can finish it in a month, that means like 12 books at the end of the year. But please spend time reading something about money. Read books relating to personal finance. You can go to different blogs, just consume material that would ensure that even when you are consulting a finance coach, you know what you're saying. And the person will not come and give you rubbish. They won't give you gibberish. Like, no, this is actually what you should do. Another thing that you can do is you can join a money community and be taught. Have a money tribe. You can join our Money Matters tribe. That's a good place to start. You know, it's free. You can join the community where you get access to simplified personal finance material. Another thing is start saving. Does not matter the amount you start with, get in the savings habit. Every month, automate your savings. After some months, then you can invest in mutual funds. You are going to get into the investment mode quite soon. Mistake 6. Yeah, this one, not building an emergency fund. This is serious. At the end of this meeting, please, we are not going on with anything. Go on with this one. Build an emergency fund. What's an emergency fund? An emergency fund is money that is set aside to cover financial emergencies. And that would help you not to touch your investment and savings. So let's say that something just come up, you know, and because these expenses, expenses, they come up suddenly and they require immediate attention. Let's say you are going and your car broke down, or the roof of your house got bad or something. You can't leave that and be like, I'll do it later. It requires you to treat this quite urgently. It could even be an health issue, it could be an health challenge and all of that. Those expenses come up and they require you to like treat me now. And if you don't have an emergency fund, you're going to either you borrow, that's even if you don't have investment and savings, or you put your hand into your investment, and you don't want to do that. Remembering that you have a financial goal that you want to achieve by the end of the year. So build an emergency fund. I have some tips for you here. I said start to put away money every month towards an emergency fund. And there is no limit to building an emergency fund. Like there is no limit. You can build it as vast as you want it to be. But it is wise to have enough money in your emergency fund account to cover at least 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. So if you are new to building an emergency fund, you can just start, calculate your living expenses for a month. What are the things that I need? Okay, transport, basic living expenses, your food. Okay, I'm going to wait for the admin to share the screen again. Calculate your basic living expenses. Let's say what you need for food, what you need for transport, data allowance, and other basic things. And then just multiply it by 6 or 12 months and start putting money aside every month towards that particular emergency fund. It could be 10% of your income, it could be less, it could be 5%. You don't have to build your emergency fund in a day or in a month. Just put it there, penny by penny, naira by naira, until you get to where you want. And like I said, the reason why you're building an emergency fund is when you are stuck or when you actually have the need for it. So you won't have to go and borrow, or you won't have to dip your hand into your investment and savings. Please, do you have any question for now while we wait for the admin to keep sharing the slide? If you have any question, you can put it in the comment section. So I'll take a few questions before we continue. Okay, we have a question here. Blessing said, how do I set my piggy bank? Could it be in a, how do I set my emergency fund? She's asking that, is she put in a piggy bank or like an account? You can put it anywhere actually. You can open an investment account and just like, this is separate from your savings. This is not that, okay, at the end of the month, is the month end and I've not gotten my salary and I'm a little bit broke and I need money. And no, you're not dipping, you're only using that money for emergency. So you're going to put in a place where you know that you can't access it except for emergencies. So you can do piggy vest if you so wish, and you can do the save block that is there. Okay, I have another question. Someone says, how do you manage your finances as someone who is still living on allowances, I mean from your parents? Okay, it's still the same thing. Like when you say you want to save, you don't start until you start making millions and billions to start saving actually. You start saving from now because it's actually an habit. So if you don't have that habit, as little as your allowance may be, put some aside. Just put it there. Just put it every month, every week, however you are getting your allowance. Let's say, okay, your allowance is coming every week or every month. I'm going to answer after this question. You're going to answer a question at the end of the webinar. So back to Tanika's question. If your allowance is coming in, let's say like every week, you can decide to do 10% or 20%, however you want, and just put it there. So it's going to help you develop a saving culture that when you eventually start making money, you're already used to it. It doesn't feel like, oh, what is all of this? I'm going to attend to your question at the end of the webinar or when we have another break. Let's move on to mistake 7. Yeah, mistake 7 is not taking care of your most valuable assets, and that's your health. That is your health, your most valuable asset to you. We've all heard this saying that health is wealth. It gives a big meaning to your life. If your health is okay, you can achieve 1,000 financial goal. Like you can just keep setting financial goal, you're going to achieve it. But if your health is not okay, things may not be okay. If I don't, it's not even be, things will not be okay because all your energy will be focused on, restoring your health. So good health is not the absence of disease in the body. People tend to mistake the fact that, oh, I'm AA, I don't get sick, so that means I'm healthy. You might not be healthy. The fact that you're not fat does not mean you are healthy. I'm somebody that I'm not very fat. If you know me, even though my name is Big Kemi, I'm full, and I think I had a conversation with a friend, was it last year? Yeah. And I was like, why? Like, I'm healthy, look at me, I'm not fat. She's like, no, Kemi, the fact that you're not fat doesn't mean you're fit. That's what she was like, I'm like, okay, so that's just by the way. The fact that you're not falling sick every day does not mean that you're actually okay. So please prioritize your health. Go for checkup regularly. Register for an HMO plan. That is like, register for an HMO plan. That is very, 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 very big. If you're working in an organization and you guys, your HMO is covered, good for you. But if you are not and you are an individual, please register for an HMO plan, no matter how little. There are a lot of HMO plan. I think I saw one, I don't know the name now, but I think it's just about 3,500 every month. So you're just paying, you can subscribe to their annual payment, and also that whenever anything happens to you, you know that your health is like hospital bills, at least that one is sorted. Because if you don't have an HMO plan, I'm telling you, one of the disadvantages that something happened, your health, that's also an emergency. And the funds in your emergency fund, remember, we said that it is living expenses for at least 3 to 6 months. It's not something that if you have a major health challenge, trust me, your emergency fund cannot cater for that. You have to eventually dip your hand into your savings or investment, and you don't want to do that. So if you can, please register for an HMO plan. Make your research on needs. It's everywhere. Find the one that is suited and is close to you and is affordable. At least one that that okay, I can put this money aside and it's not going to hurt me. Another thing is, please register your parents if you have aged parents. If you have aged parents, please put your parent on an HMO plan. It is very, very, very important. It is very, 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 very important. Another thing is exercise regularly, eat healthy. So I have 2 activities for us here. I said, if you can, I know this can be difficult, especially for people living in Lagos and all of that. If you can, work out for at least 30 minutes every day. So just try to simple workouts. You can get different workout routine on YouTube. Just stay healthy and incorporate fruits in your meals daily. Eat fruits, lot of fruits. You can have a meal plan. Talk to a dietitian if you can afford it, and just create a meal plan for yourself. Your health is important. If you don't have a good, like if you're not taking care of your health, your financial goal, like every other thing may not be okay with you, because if you eventually break down, you're going to end up spending all your savings plus your investment plus the emergency fund. You may even have to borrow to take care of your health. Mistake 8. Mistake 8, we're supposed to have some affirmation, but again, I'll be at the end of the section. So the second module, we are done with the first module, and now we're on the second module. And these modules, please, can we go back? These are modules that are stopping you from actually learning money basics and spending your money wisely. We did a survey before we did this webinar, and we had lots of people are like, what are the money mistakes you are making? People impulse spending. I overspend. I spend anyhow. I don't use to budget. So this is the part that you need. This is the part where we're going to break it down and make it simple for you. Next slide, please. So mistake number 8 here is not budgeting. And on behalf of everybody that studied management or economics, I'm offended on our behalf. I studied finance too, and people will be like, budgeting is for stingy people. If you are budgeting, that means you are stingy. You cannot tell me how to spend my money. No, that's actually not true. Budgeting is not for stingy people. Budgeting is not supposed to be restrictive. You're not keeping a budget because somebody's trying to control your money and telling you, no, budgeting is actually going to allow you to spend your money without feeling guilty. You can eat that pizza, you can go to that club, you can do whatever you want. And you're not guilty, you're not feeling guilty. You can take your dream vacation and you're not feeling guilty about it. Why? Because you have it all in your budget, because you've planned for it. So budgeting is like a plan that makes you conscious of how you spend your money. So be like, okay, this is my income and 10% is going to this, 5% is going to this, 30% is going to this, and all of that. So I have some tips for us. The first one is track your monthly expenses. You set it ahead of time. And second one is prepare your budget ahead of receiving income. People do it the other way around. They spend all the money, and then at the end of the day, the one that is left, they're trying to be like, okay, what do I do? Let me try to create a budget. Don't create a budget like after you've received income. Let's say for those of us that are salary earners, before your next salary, have a breakdown already. Okay, once I'm collecting my salary, this is how I want to spend it. And also in order of priority. So you're getting your money, you're taking it off. And the first thing there, aside from your tithe, is paying yourself first. So I said that I have some activities for us. So you can get the Money Matters Tribe daily and budget tracker. So we have a budget and daily tracker for our community members. You can get that. If you want it, please signify at the end of the webinar. We're going to tell you how to get it. Another thing is have a budgeting rule. I'm sure that a lot of us, you've heard this budgeting rule, 50, 30, 20. 50% for your want, 30% for your need, and 20% for savings and investment. But I have a budgeting rule that I use personally. And I said 10% for God, 5% you give it to people, anybody. People can just come into your DM and be like, okay, I want this. So you have to help 30% going towards investment, 40% going towards consumption. So under this consumption, everything that you want, okay, this particular month, I want to give myself a treat, I want to have a spa treatment, I want to do this. So it's going to be under your consumption, and 15% can go into project savings. So that could be your emergency fund. That could be, okay, I want to save up for a car. That could be I'm saving up for other things. Another thing that I want to say is that the budgeting rule is not cast in stone. Or don't say I'm going to just follow this 10, 5, 30, 40, 15, and anything. No, it's not cast in stone. It's actually, it does not override speaking to a personal finance expert. Depending, everybody's financial journey is peculiar to them. So your journey is your journey. Your journey is not your friend's journey. So if you speak to a financial expert, they can curate a more Apologies, everyone. Please, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me? Okay, thank you. Thank you, everyone. So mistake number 9 is not distinguishing between want and need. Not distinguishing between your want and need. A need is something that is necessary. Thank you, Innocent, to live and function. We know that already. A want is something that can help you improve your quality of life. It is that simple. Needs and necessities, you need them. But want is, something to improve you want to be like, yes, I've arrived. So, a phone, any basic phone, except you have, I was about to say that iPhone is not, it's a want, it's not a need, but depending on what you're using it for, honestly. So a need is something that is of absolute necessary. You need this thing, and a want is something to just improve your quality of life. So coaching tip for people that you just want to, you cannot distinguish between what is a need and a want. When you are looking at an item that you have not planned on purchasing, ask yourself, what is more important, the item or the freedom of never worrying about it? Because that is where everybody wants to get eventually, where you don't have to worry about money, where you can get as you can just cater for all your wants however you want, but you have to get there. So in the process of getting there, when you want to get something that you don't plan on buying, let's say, and there's another thing that I really want to talk about, when people be like, oh, I'm not sure, I do not plan to buy this thing actually, but because I saw it at a very cheap price, so I feel like, let me buy, I'm actually saving money. You're not actually saving money. Let's say you do not plan on buying. I'm going to be using a shoe as an example. Let's say this shoe, you do not plan on buying it. The shoe is, let's say, it's about 15,000, and you saw somebody selling it for 7,500. And because it's 7, you're like, oh wow, that's 50% discount. You do not plan on buying it, so it's not in your budget. And then you went ahead and buy it, and then you're like, oh, because it's actually cheap. And in your mind, you're thinking that you've saved money. You did not actually save money. You just spent 7,500. You did not save 7,500, because this is the rationale behind. People be like, oh, this shoe normally is 15,000, and then I'm buying it for 7,500. That means I've saved 7,500 on something that you do not plan on buying. It can only be that you've saved if it's in your budget, if you already have a plan to buy that thing. But if it's not in your budget, you just spent 7,500 that you do not budget for. So that is not saving. Another thing is always factor in your priorities. You don't have to buy everything. Always factor in your priorities. Can we go to mistake 10? Can you hear me? Mistake 10, impulse buying. And this table, everybody, I don't know, I think everybody, we've been on this table. I saw it, I like it, I have cash, let me buy it. And fun fact, over 60% of people regret impulse buying when they get back to their homes. I've been a victim of impulse buying. I'm like, why did I buy this thing? I can't even phantom why. Why did I buy this thing? I just said I like, and then I'm back in my house and I'm regretting. I'm like, oh, this money, or possibly something is wrong with it. It's just the excitement of seeing something that I want, and because I can afford it, I'm buying it. So what are the tips to avoid impulse buying if you're on this table? Number one, make a list before you shop. Very, very important. Make a list before you shop. Before you go out of your house, you want to get groceries, you want to get anything, you want to go on shopping for yourself. Make a list. That's just going to give you a guideline. I'm going to the market, this is what I'm buying. Every other thing, I'm closing my eye. Another thing is, don't carry excess cash around, because one thing that helps impulse buying is cash. Just have the cash. I can afford it. Let me pay for it. If you don't have cash, not every vendor accepts transfer. especially if it's not online something. Not every vendor. So I know they'll tell you go and use POS, and that's for me. It's the one discount. I was like, don't worry, I don't even plan to buy it because I'll just go. So don't carry excess cash around. Go around with just the least amount of cash you need for necessities. Another thing is before buy anything, especially big purchases, sleep on it. Give it at least 24 hours. I want to buy this thing. I do not plan for it. Actually, just sleep on it for 24 hours. Ask yourself, is it really needed? I can see Felix is raising his hand. If you want to ask any question, Felix, you can ask in the chat section. Another thing that I put here as a tip is calculate your hourly rate when considering a purchase. Divide how much you are making per hour into the cost of that item to determine how many hours it will take you to earn that amount. So at the end of the day, is it worth it? If you want to buy something, just look at the price and calculate how much you're earning per hour. Now ask yourself, how many hours will it take me to work to actually buy this? At the end of the day, is it worth it? Mistake number 11. Getting into deep debt. This is crucial. This is one of the most fatal mistakes you can make on the road to abundance. If you want to be financially free, please do not get into deep debt. And we know these things actually. We know the way debt can be. We know how difficult it can be. So why then do people actually get into debt? Different reasons. It could be guilt. It could be envy. Some people have this, you live only once mentality, let me enjoy my life. It could be impulsiveness. It could be image. I want to let people know that I've arrived. So you have to borrow money to buy, to impress people that are not actually even looking at you. It could be low self-esteem. It could be because of an emotional fulfillment. I have some people that spend money as an emotional hurt. I'm sad. I just want to spend money. No, I'm not feeling very okay. I want to go shopping. No, all of these things can actually get you into debt. And if you're already in debt, the thing that you keep to help you. Make a list of how much you owe. Make a list of how much you owe. Start from there. Okay, this is how much I'm owing everybody. And then the second thing is use a debt repayment strategy and decide how much you can pay every. So determine, just have a figure as to how much you are owing, and then okay, strategize on it. This is my income, this is how much I'm earning. At least I can do 20% of my income every month. It could be 10, it could be 8, it could be 5, depending. And then you can renegotiate interest rates. If it is possible, you can renegotiate your interest rate and ask for a lesser percentage of interest rate. And above all, talk to an expert. Talk to an expert, especially if you have big debt, if you have like a very big debt hanging over your head. Talk to an expert, and then you guys are going to talk about your income, what other things that you can do, and how you can renegotiate. Mistake 12, please. Mistake 12 is not negotiating. This one, not negotiating, except the price is fixed. Please always ask for a discount, except the price is fixed. I'm not asking you to book Uber and start asking for discount now. Except the price is fixed, always ask for a discount. Failure to negotiate is leaving money on the table. Whatever it is that you are buying, get a discount, no matter how little. Just have that habit, like I must ask for a discount, and people will give you discount. Honestly, at least people that are buying stuff from me, I'll get a discount, except it's free, except it's fixed, rather. Except, okay, I know that this is a fixed price. I'm not asking to go to the mall, pick something, and then you want to pay and ask for discount and all of that. So what are the things that can help you? Buy in bulk to save cost. So if you want to buy, you can buy in bulk. If you're buying in bulk, it even makes sense to get discount because you're buying in bulk. And always ask for a discount. Always ask for a discount. Let it be a part of you. Let it be an habit that whatever I'm buying, just know that step the price big me and tell her she ask for a discount. So always ask for a discount. And trust me, people will give you discount. I'm telling you things that I do, people will definitely give you discount. Can we go to mistake 13? Wow, this table. Mistake 13, loaning money to friends and family. This is self-explanatory. Please, when you are loaning money to friends and family, you should consider it. And that's why you should not loan people money you are not willing to. So if you are loaning people money, it's quite dicey and it can ruin your relationship. So I want to loan money to my friend. He's asking for a particular amount of money. I cannot afford to lose that. I'll give out what I can. And if she returns it, fine. If she does not return it, okay. I know that, in my heart of hearts, it's a gift. If she returns it, fine. If does not return it, also okay. Because we are loaning money to friends or family and you're not careful, it can ruin your relationship. So I have some tips for you. I said before you loan money to your friends and family, especially for big amount of money, ask what you want to use the money to do. Somebody is asking you for money that is amounting to millions. You want to know, okay, what do you want to use this money for? So you don't go and put in a bad investment and you not be able to pay. Another thing is negotiate. Like I said, just because somebody is asking for a particular sum of money does not mean you have to give what you know that you are willing to lose. That okay, if this person is not going to pay me back, I'm not going to die. Another thing is consider the person history of repayment. This person is your friend, this person is your family. As he or she borrowed money from you before, is she able to repay? Is he able to repay? Get it in writing if possible, especially if you're talking about a huge sum of money. Get it in writing if possible. And finally, I'm reiterating again, don't loan what you can lose. Don't loan what you can lose. If a friend is asking you for a certain amount of money, I'll be like, this money will not give me back, it's going to cause problem. This is how much I can give you. You don't have to tell the person that I'm giving you, like, okay, this is how much I can loan you. But you just know in your ask that if she did not return it, or if he did not return it, it's not going to cause problem between you. It's something you can overlook. Mistake 14. Mistake 14 is not charging for your services. How many of you are on this table? I want to hear from us. How many of you, are you guys still following? How many of you are on this table? You just do everything free of charge. If your friends and family, person says she's on this table, you just do it. Please, 2023, change, especially if you offer that service professionally. Especially if you offer that service professionally. Don't offer your charge for your services. Don't bring business into, don't bring family into business. There's a saying that says that business would prosper if friends and family would pay. So if that is what you're doing, especially on a professional platform, if that is your means of income, why are you giving it for them free of charge? Charge them. You cannot give them a friendship discount. Okay, because you're my friend. Okay, pay. You're not going to pay what every other person is paying. But please, and please, and please, and please, and please, this 2023, learn to start charging for your service, especially if you offer that service professionally. If outsiders are paying for it, then your friends and family should also pay for it. What are the tips that I have for you? I said, learn to say no. You don't have to accept every free job request. This person is even paying, so say no sometimes. Another thing is brand and structure your services so that your family and friends are also aware that you're a professional. Brand and structure your services so that they are aware that, okay, then maybe because you're not taking your business serious. So they feel like, oh, it means this is what you're using. They don't even know. Another thing is stop giving out freebies except you're trying new products or practicing something new. Except you're practicing something new, except you're launching a new product and you need review. Please stop giving out freebies. Mistake 15. Oh, and they're on the last module, and that's saving and investing for future wealth. So we're talking about mistakes that are preventing you from saving and investing for future wealth. Thank you all, for staying with me all through. Mistake 15. Saving instead of investing. There's a difference between saving and investing. Saving is just accumulating your money somewhere. And if you put your money in a bank account, you're going to get depreciated. It's just the bank charging, ATM charges, SMS charges, something charges, and money is just there losing value. Why investing is making that money work for you to earn more money. That's the difference between saving and investing. Saving, you're just putting your money somewhere, it's just there, and the money will be losing value. While investing is making your money work for you to earn more money. And with investment, you can diversify and minimize your financial risk. So what are the tips that I have for you? Get educated. I can't say that enough. Get educated. Join a personal finance community where viable investment opportunities are shared. Just be mindful of bad investment. I beg you. Don't be like, oh, my friend is doing this. That is actually very, very common. My friend is doing this. She put 50,000 and then she's getting this amount of money. I want to do it too. Don't be scammed. Seek a personal finance expert to help you build a well-diversified portfolio. So when we are talking about diversification, it means that you are not putting all your eggs in one basket. So you have your portfolio. In your portfolio, you have stock investment, you have real estate investment, you have crypto investments. You just have everything there. So if one is going down, you know that okay, this one will balance this up. You're not putting all your egg in one basket, because that's also a mistake. When you are new to invest, you don't want to put all your eggs like somebody said the stock market is good, and you have to put all your life savings there. And then tomorrow, who knows what will happen? Election, rumor, anything can happen, and the stock market can just like all your money will go in it. So mistake 16. Another mistake here is thinking you don't have enough to save. I think that's actually very common. You think you don't have enough to save. People think that I don't have enough to save. How much am I earning? My monthly income is just like 50,000 naira, and then you're asking me to come and say, I don't have enough money. I want to wait until I'm earning in dollars. I want to wait until my monthly income is averaging 1 million and all of that before I'll save. You can actually start investing with as low as 5,000, 10,000, 20,000. You don't have to own millions to start investing. Start where you are and with what you have. So I have some few tips for us. The first one is seek out registered investment club and register as a member. I'm going to be sharing us few advantage of joining an investment club. Investment club works in such a way that everybody can come together and put their funds together. Oh, you have 5,000, bring it. She has 200,000, bring it. Somebody has 1 million, bring it. And guys just come together. And because you're a member of that investment club, it gives you the opportunity to invest in something that your 5,000 or your 10,000 or your 10,000 will not have given you access to. Why? Because you are part of an investment club. And if everybody comes together, your fund is big enough to make quality investment with good return. Another thing is invest in mutual funds. Anybody can invest in mutual funds. Invest in T-bills too. You can get treasury bill from your bank and just start from there. Mistake 17. Mistake 17 is listening to naysayers. So what are naysayers? A naysayer is a person who says something will not work or it's not possible. A person who denies, refuses, or opposes something. I'm sure you have some people, you're just sharing ideas with them, and you're not even done. They're telling you it can't work. It's this sound, it is this, it's that. The truth is, there will always be naysayers in your life. Not everybody will see life the way you are seeing it. And some people may have your best interest at heart. I was sharing one of the visions that we have with Money Matters with a friend just last week. And, I told her that I feel like you are trying to water down this idea. And amazingly, you're the very first person I'm sharing it with. And I'm sharing it with you. And you're already telling me this. So the thing is, you would actually have some naysayers in your life. But you have to know when people are coming from a place where they have your best interest at heart, or if they are just being mediocre and small-minded. At the end of the day, I was able to have a conversation with my friend, and I realized that, okay, she's pointing things to me that I had not seen. I was like, okay, thank you. But thank God we had that conversation, because it was beginning to look like, what are you saying? Are you trying to discourage me? Are you trying to tell me not to do it? So you have naysayers in your life, actually, but just know when people are coming from a place where they have your best interest at heart, or when they are just being mediocre and small-minded. Some people would just I've not done this, and they'll tell you one story that a friend of mine did this and did this, she invested, and then no, don't do that. So what are the coaching tips that I have for you? Number one, research and research again. Do your due diligence before heading off an intended financial decision. So before you make any major financial decision, make sure that you know your own. You make sure that you've done your own personal assignment. You've done everything, dotted the I's and crossed the T's. Like, okay, be clear about what you want to go into. And when you're asking for opinion, know what you want, or don't ask at all. Don't come speak and be like, there's this thing that, no, know what you want. You also exude some kind of confidence that will make them like, okay, she actually knows what she's talking about. Or rather than asking friends and family whether they think it's a good idea, ask them about their experience. Relate into that direction. So, example, instead of similar investments in that particular sector, and if so, what are their results? Please, can you still hear me? My network is tripping up. Can you hear me, please? Okay, thank you. So, mistake 18, analysis paralysis. This is when you are just overthinking everything. Waiting until you found the ideal way to invest is a mistake, because you delay accruing any return on your investment. So don't overthink it. Do your due diligence. Just start. There's one thing that I really like. It said the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, so that by now you start to. But the second best time is now. Is today. Start now. I'm going to be having a video break. I want to lay emphasis on this particular mistake, the mistake of starting later, thinking that, well, instead of starting now, I'll start next month, I'll start next year, I'll start when I'm 30, or I'll start when I start earning in millions, I'll start this and this and this and that. So please stay tuned. Let's watch this video. Please play the video. While we wait for the video, I'll try to answer some questions. I'm not sure I've answered Vicent's question. Vicent has a question sometimes. Okay, I think you have to send your question again, Vicent. I can't see it. Please, can you please increase the volume? There's something wrong with the audio of that video. We could not hear anything, but we are following the subtitle. It talked about two friends and 20-year-old. Let's say friend A is talking with friend B, like, let's start investing. I'll start putting $200 aside every month. The other friend B was like, no, I'm not ready. I want to live my life and all of that. 10 years later, they come to you and like, hey, happy birthday, things like that. And then friend B was like, oh, I'm ready now. I want to start investing and I want to beat you. I was like, I want to beat you. You are putting $200 every month, Abby. I'm going to start putting $500. I think it's $500 or $300. Like, and at their retirement age, age 65, we find out that the person that started 10 years earlier had about 20 million in assets, and he did not increase his investment. He just stuck to $200 every month. Why the other guy, after 10 years, started doing $500 every month? So that's just to tell you that the power of compound interest. Don't wait until later. If you are waiting to invest later, you are delaying the return that would have accrued on your investment. You are delaying it, and every day counts when it comes to compound interest. Please, is that clear? Can we go on to the next slide? Please. Mistake 19. Staying in your safety or comfort zone. Staying in your safety or comfort zone because you're afraid of your unknown. This is one mistake you should not make in 2023. This is one mistake you should not make in 2023. Avoid it at all costs. Please avoid what if. What if I taken the job and by the end of the year? What if I invested in the opportunity when it came? Do not allow yourself to be discouraged. Take calculated risks. There is something in finance that there's a saying in finance that the higher the risk, the higher the return. So take calculated risks. There are no investment that is 100% devoid of risks. Actually, there's always an element of risk in all your return. But please take calculated. Dare to dream. Dare to dream. Can we go on to the next slide? I think I said a lot on this in the next slide when we talk about, yes, being risk adverse. So this is just to piggybacking on mistake 19. Like I said, there are no investments that is 100% void of risks. But instead of being afraid, instead of being risk adverse, investors have been categorized into 3 zones. We have the aggressive risk investors, we have the moderate risk investors, and we have the conservative risk investors. So it should be a mix of everything. Don't be too aggressive, but don't be too conservative either. Just have a mix. Some instance, be aggressive, other instance, be conservative, and also be moderate. And all of this category actually boils down to your age. It's people that if you are young, you are below 30, I would advise that please take risks aggressive, because like you're not paying anybody bills. At least you're not paying too much. You don't have too much on your shoulders, so you can take aggressive risks. But once you're advancing in age, you have responsibilities and all of that, you have to start taking moderate. And finally, if you are now approaching retirement, don't use your retirement gratuity to go and invest in crypto or forex. At that age, you want to take conservative, because at that age you are interested in capital preservation more than interest. But if you are young, you are below 30, you are below 20, you want to get it return. You are more interested in getting high return than capital. You want to preserve your capital truly, but then again, you want high return. So you're going to take more risks. So what are the tips that I have for you? I said, take baby steps, start small and start now. Get educated. I've been emphasizing on this a lot. Get educated. You can join a finance community. You can read books. Just get educated and understand the market. Don't invest in something you do not understand. Don't invest in something because your friend says so. Invest in what you understand. Mistake 21. And the final mistake in this module, it says not taking advantage of compound interest. I talked about this with that video, but I just want to emphasize on it again. Compound interest, they say, is the 8th wonder of the world. We have 7 wonders of the world. Is there anybody here that can actually mention all the 7 wonders of the world? If you can, I'll give you a gift. You have a gift from me, because I don't know it. I don't know the 7 wonders of the world. So if you know, and do not consult Google. Don't just say it off the top of your head. Wonder 1, this is it, wonder 2. But I know that the 8th wonder of the world is compound interest. I'm going to explain compound interest again. When income flows into investment, be careful not to eat your earnings. Instead, reinvest both capital and interest again and get yourself a money army that keeps working on you. Let me break it down very well. When you invest your capital, that's your principal amount. Let's say you want to start investing now, you're starting with 500,000. Once you invest your 500,000, it's going to come back with interest. That is why it's investing and it's not savings. It's going to come back with interest. Based on you eating the interest, no matter how least, be like, how much is this now? This 500K just give me like 10,000 naira as interest. Oh, just with 10,000 naira. Oh, instead of eating your interest, send both mother, the capital, and the interest, the child, send them back to work. Once they come back again, now you have mother, you have child, you have grandchildren, send them back to work again. Like, do not eat your interest. Hey, somebody is reading my gift. Somebody got the 7 wonders of the world. Wow. First wonder is the Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt. I hope this is off the top of your head. The second is the Hanging Garden of Babylon in Iraq. The third one is the Temple of Artemis in, I can't see that, at Ephesus in Turkey. The Mausoleum at Halikarnassos in Turkey, the Colossus of Rhodes. Please, I'm having difficulty in believing that you actually gave me this thing off the top of your head. But if you say that, well, you know it, DM me, send me a DM on Instagram or message me on WhatsApp for your gift. I'm going to give you your gift. Your gift is actually a book. So it's one of my very, like, I treasure it very much. It's a book on personal finance. I love that book so very much. I'm going to gift it to you. Thank you for sharing with us the 7th wonder of the world. So one of the coaching tips that I have for you, I said, somebody said it's Google. Say it's Google. So you know me, my gift. The first tip that I have for you is invest early. You cannot invest enough. From the time you start to get your first paycheck, you should start building an investment portfolio. Like I said, don't wait until you have 1 billion or with your 10,000 naira monthly income. Start saving. Start, like, before you start investing, if you are a low income earner, start saving. Then maybe at the end of the year, this is how much you've been able to save. Then you invest that. And another thing is, you actually need to look for other sources of income. Try to get other sources of income to, complement what you currently have. Another thing is, invest often. Don't restrict yourself to making investment monthly, quarterly, or annually. Like, depending on how you have the money, you can start investing. We just got a bonus, got some wolf cash, just put in your investment account and put it down. Let's start compounding. Remember what I said about compounding? Now is the best time. Don't wait until later. 10 years, 10 years even too small. One day will actually make a difference. If you have a fund that compounds daily, one day will make a huge difference between you, if you start today, and somebody that's going to start tomorrow. And with that, we've come to the end of this webinar. Thank you all for staying through. Thank you. Remember what I said. Please share your notes on Instagram. Tag me on Instagram at Money Matters with Big Kemi. Tag us. Share what stood out for you. Out of these 21 mistakes, which one, like, my own was that budget thing. My own was that impulse spending. My own was not charging for my services. My own was loaning money to friends. My own is going into debt. Just tell us what stood out for you. One mistake have you identified? And what will you be doing differently? Okay, somebody say, can we get the slide? You cannot get the slide, but there's going to be an ebook. Remember, when we are doing registration, it is there on the flyer that there is a bonus ebook for all the registrants. So if you register, watch out for a mail from us. Watch out for a mail. You're going to get this. There's an ebook on 21 mistakes you make in money and how to avoid it. So it has everything that I've said in this webinar and more. So watch out for that mail from us. You're going to get it. Thank you all very much. Do you have questions? This is the time to send in your question. Do you have any question? Send your question. If you don't want to ask it now, you can send us a mail at info.moneymatterswithbkemi@yahoo.com or send us a DM on IG or Facebook or on Facebook. I want to attend to Vincent's question. I'm looking for it. Okay. Vincent said, how do you supervise a startup business you set up while you are not available, like you're staying far away? So it depends on what the startup is like. There are some startups that you have to be there. So it's very easy. How do you supervise it? If you are not there, get a trusted employee or bring the business to where you are. If there's something that is movable, something that you can move, bring the business where you are. If you're talking about farming and all of that, and you cannot, of course, you can't bring your farm to where you are. Get someone that you trust. But it depends on the kind of business that you're doing. Get a trusted employee. Employ somebody there that gives you feedback it could be every day. You can have meeting weekly, you can have meeting daily, gives you feedback, reports to you, on a daily basis and help you monitor. So you are there, but you're not there. You are there in the sense that everything that goes on, you know about because you get report on it daily. And you're not there because you're not there physically. And like I said, if it's a business that you can move to where you are, because when you are starting a startup, it is important that you do it yourself. It is important that you put structures in place, building a strong foundation so that every other thing you can build on the foundation that you already have. But it's a business that you cannot move and you don't have any choice, you cannot be there. Get a trusted employee, employ someone that reports to you on a daily basis. Do not employ your friend, do not employ your family member. That's another thing. Don't put your sister, especially since you start up, don't put your sister in charge of it. Because she might not be able to report to you, and you know that you paycheck, you're paying the person, and they have no choice but to listen to you. Please, if you have any other questions, send in your question. We have about 5 more minutes before the end of this meeting. So if you have any more questions, send them in. You can send it to us as an email, or you can just put it in the chat section and let us hear. Thank you, Joshua, for you. Please share your notes. It's very, very important that you do. Please share your notes. Tag us on Instagram, tag us on Facebook, tag us everywhere. We want to hear from you. Another thing is share your financial goals too. For those of you that are interested in joining the Money Matters community, please stay on the WhatsApp group. Stay on the WhatsApp group. We are going to be sharing lots of things there. So if you're not there yet, you can send me a DM, you can send me a mail. Somebody asked a question. Okay, what are some financial clubs and communities we have in Nigeria? Okay, well, we have lots of investment clubs, so you have to make more. I belong to one, and if you're interested in that, you can send me a DM. I don't know about others. I know that we have quite a lot of investment clubs in Nigeria, but then again, you want to be sure what you're getting into so that you are not scammed. So if you want to, I belong to an investment club. If you want to be in my investment club, you can send me a DM after. I'm going to tell you what it entails and what you have to do. Oh, thank you, Vincent. Thank you so much. I'm glad that we captured most of your mistakes, and I'm very certain that you'll be doing a lot of things differently this 2023. Thank you, Innocent. Thank you so much. Please share. That is one thing that I'm asking from you guys. Please spread the word. Spread the word. Help me to spread the word. Share what you learned. Share it on Instagram. Send me a mail. If you can, just send me a mail. Send me things that you've learned, things that you're going to be doing differently. You can also share your financial goal with me, because I have some few announcements to make. We are done with this webinar. I'm just gisting with you guys now. So February, we are going to be having a romance and finance talk show. You know, it's the month of love, and we want to talk about love and also talk about money. We had the first edition last year, and we talked about handling money in a love relationship. You know, people don't really get to talk about it. I love you, I love you, I love you. But I don't know, people don't really talk about finances in their relationship. It's just going to date, the guy is paying and all of that. And you know, I did a random interview with people last year. I was supposed to even put the interview in a book. I'm not done with that. By the time I'm done, I'm probably going to share with the community members. It's so funny and so, you know, so I'm like, really? This is how people think. So we're having the second edition this February. You don't want to miss it. That's another reason why you have to stay on that group. And by March, we are going to be having a webinar that's going to teach you how to invest in the stock market by yourself. So again, like, we have a lot of things we need planned out for our community members. So if you are there, you're going to be getting lots and lots of things for free, honestly, for free, like premium materials for free. So March, you're going to be talking about how to invest in the stock market by yourself. If you want to invest in the stock market, these are the things that you need to know. And by April, you're going to be having an accountability section. So I want everybody, if you're interested, you can send me a mail with your financial goal. So by April, I'm going to be checking up on you personally that, okay, this is what you said you want to achieve this year. And this is the first quarter of the year. What have you done? So April is going to be an accountability checkup, finance goal. Where are you on your finance goal? What can you do? What have you not done? What can you do better? So you have to stay on the group. And if you want to subscribe to my mailing list, like just stay on the group. We have a lot of things lined up for you. Thank you, Innocent, and don't forget to share. That is the only payment that I want from you. Share with your friends, share with your inner circle. I used to tell myself that my inner circle needs to be my money circle. I mean, God forbid I'm in trouble, but like I said, life is big actually. So God forbid you go into something. I have to be able to, if I can't call 5 of my friends to help me out, then what are we doing? So make your inner circle your money circle. You don't want to eat your financial goals alone. You want to eat it with your friends. So share with your friends, share with your lovers. Hey, I'm saying this February old. Please, I don't want anybody to miss it. So should I give you, I don't even want to know the theme of our February event. The team is ready. The flyer will be ready. Hopefully by next week, we start sharing. If you want to know the theme, you can tell me. If I get like about, you guys are 20. If I get about 15 years, I can tell you the theme. Like, okay, this is the theme for February. Me, 1, I'm counting. Innocent wants year 1. If I'm not getting 15 response, I'm not going to tell you the theme. And the theme is so, oh my God. Fitting me, my book there. Okay, Juliet 2, treasure 3, blessing 4, 5, 6, me plus 2. No, you're not doing me plus 2. You, Vincent, just you. That is 6, I think 7. We have 15 more to go. Oh, we have 8 more to go. We got 7 responses. We have 8 more to go. So tell people to comment if they want to know the theme for February, love and money talk show, romance and finance talk show. Fumilola, okay, I think that's 8. If I get 10, I would just tell you, and then we are done with this meeting. Looks like I'm not going to share it. You guys are just going to have to wait for the. Thank you very much, Victoria. Thank you. You guys are just going to have to wait for the flyer because I only got 8 response. And I even like, I'm giving you guys a discount. I said if I can get 10 response, I'm going to share it. But I got 8. So you guys should wait for the flyer. Trust me, it's going to be educative. It's going to be fun. It's going to be really, really fun. all your money and love matter, bring them on. We're going to answer all the questions. Thank you also very much for being a part of this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for staying to the end. Thank you so very much. Please, like I said, watch out for our mail. You're going to get the ebook. Everybody, even those that are not, everybody's going to get it because that is what we said. So the ebooks on 21 mistake you make with money and how to avoid. It's going to be shared to your mail later this week. Thank you also very much. Have a beautiful night rest. Bye.